We want to assume that the suspensions were done based on some kind of investigation. They couldn't have been done based on nothing. And we know that the Senate had investigated the SGF before now and made some recommendations which were thrown out. Now, a committee has been set up, a committee of 3 has been set up to investigate this same matter again.
Alera, let me say this. What the Senate had done so far is to release their interim reports. And the interim report is not conclusive. They have invited the SGF is to appear on the later dates after when they resume from their recess. However, the SGF is more of a kitchen cabinet staff of Mr. President. Or let me put it this way, is a personal staff of Mr. President. He didn't have to go to the Senate for clarification or confirmation for his appointment. So what the executive had just done, it's just okay, you know what? We want to investigate you. Go on suspension. And I'm glad the chairman of that committee is the vice president. As a lawyer, I know Professor Oshibajo is the best when we talk about the law of evidence in this country today. So we think you have the AGF and then you have the NSA. I believe we should just give them time. They have 14 days to turn in their reports. We have spent 4 or 5 days, so we have like 9 or 10 days to go. So let's wait for the report of that panel. And then we can now have a proper discussion on the way forward.
Okay. Mr. Nadi, this committee that was set up by the President, this is not the first time a committee will be set up to investigate the SGF. Or in the other case, when the committee was first set up, we also included the investigation of the acting chairman of the EFCC. So this committee has been set up. They've started already, and reports are that they quizzed the EFCC boss. So do you think any light will come out of this one? Howbeit we're still treating headaches, as you say, but do you think any light will come out of this?
Well, in the wisdom of the executive, they set up this committee. A lot of commentators and Nigerians are also not so taken in by this latest effort. There have been a lot of mistakes, wrong responses to simple issues of governance. I have said, if a man does not bring out his character in question, nobody will cross-examine him on that, even in court, in a judicial process. But when a government says, we are running on a mantra of anti-corruption, your conduct in the public space should be quintessential. It should be unquestionable. It must be imbued by knowledge and character and driven by in-depth and manifest integrity, such that even if there is any single mistake, being mortals, it will not be looked at from just like the mistake of a father to the child. The child always trusts a good parent. So if there is a mistake, you are already forgiven even before you apologized, because it is an honest mistake, which is also recognized by law. So the issue is, somebody was quick at pronouncing on what looks like the innocence of the man who was being indicted. I have chosen that word very carefully because the Attorney General did not say that he was innocent. But the body language, since we are now used to more of body language than the body language of that statement was like defending one of their own. It would have been better that the executive did not even make any statement. Take the report of the Senate. If you wanted to set a committee, that this committee should have been set by then. Okay? And if you felt that the man was not given fair hearing, call him and give him fair hearing to your own committee. then let him say what he knew about the whole thing. Because nobody who has claimed to be fighting corruption should allow the taint or smell of it to even come near to the office or the room. So this particular committee, without prejudice to whatever they may want to do, perception is everything. Perception is everything. You cannot be scratching people where it does not itch. Otherwise, there will be no gratitude, even though effort have been expended. You understand? So the issue now is, look at, without prejudice to whatever allegation against the SGF, he might be innocent for all the hula baloo. And that is my major interest, that the man is not slaughtered at the altar of public opinion, which have been negatived by a lot of development, when in actual sense he may be innocent, because I have seen injustice walk on two legs. Even Cicero Mendelsohn said that, excuse me, if I may quote, that the innocent bears the brunt if there is failure of justice. It might take 10 years to find that this guy was innocent, but he may have been killed. That's why sometimes you delay the death sentence, because some people may come later say, my conscience is pricking me, this man doesn't know anything about it, he would have gone. So the issue is, let us help those who have been alleged to have committed an offense without protecting them. Let them face justice, because justice, like Justice Oputa said, is three ways. To the victim, which may be society, or an individual, or an institution, to the accused himself, and then to the society at large. Everybody will go home happy. An armed robber who has been rightly convicted may not be happy that he may be facing the consequences, but he'll be telling himself, oh boy, you allowed yourself to be cajoled by Jude or by Joseph in his private moment. So the truth of the matter is that some of the responses this government is doing, that was why I said here a number of times that the president seemed to be alone. Now some others were agitating, pretending. They meet him in various private fora, give him information that were not necessary, but which will present them as the people who were with him. You don't need to be frenetic when you are fighting any war. Just be genuine.
Okay. Hajia, as we begin to wind down, how best can the civil society and those out there help to take this fight or make this fight more effective? Because they are concerned that some people would rather give out information or blow the whistle on people that they consider their enemies or not their friends. So how best can we institutionalize this fight against corruption, in your opinion? No, you didn't hear me. Let me take that question again. How do we institutionalize this fight against corruption to the point that individuals don't blow the whistle on those they consider their enemies, but that it will be done right so that justice is served to everyone concerned?
Absolutely. Everything will still hinge on the law and process. We need to make laws. And in itself, the law in itself on the whistleblowing will also safeguard, in what condition, at what are the terms of whistleblowing. And, to legalize this so that people can study and understand and know what is their own limitation and when and what is their right about whistleblowing in general. I think if we have a good law on this, it's a very perfect thing to do. We can see the results already. And as you said, we are going, I will take this opportunity to tell our Baba Buhari to please, he has come to this administration not for selfish reason. He came to help Nigeria and also for his own legacy. He needs to get rid of these cabals who have taken over the executive and who has taken over the villa and become a clog to our progress. We need them out. One is down. We have 3 more to go.
Wow.
Okay.
In close.
Well, I think we have a long way to go. But we are not where we used to be. I know in the recent past, it was more like kleptocracy was the official policy of the government. But now we are taking a different path entirely. Nyota, you've said it, it's not enough to have this policy of blowing the whistle. But we must also be very careful to institutionalize the process. Let there be a law to make it formal, and then we take it up from that point.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Naji.
We have enough laws to do so much in this arena, but we must come with integrity to ensure that institutions are strengthened rather than whimsicality in the public space.
Thank you very much. We haven't even scratched the surface yet, but that's all the time we have. And I'd like to thank the legal practitioners with us in Lagos, Mr. Chima Naji, as well as Mr. Wahab Tokumbo, and to a community activist who joined us from Abuja, Hajia Mariam Yakub. Thank you all very much for coming to share your insights with us this morning. Sunrise will return in just a moment with another interesting conversation, I promise.